Yo. We gaming. My favorite day of the week. It's Friday. And we're doing Death Anchor today. I don't feel entirely on top of things today, so that bodes well. Yeah, we've got EAC, so good boost, pretty decent grip, gotta be careful. And then next week we'll have Hyper Death Anchor, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Unbelievable. Well, maybe it's not Friday in California. Maybe it's only Friday entirely localized within this stream. I'm not sure remember if I changed any of the control schemes here. Don't think I did. Wait, I'm not sure who Johnny Napalm is. I mean, oh, that guy! I forgot that was his last name. You know? You're not wrong. Hang on. Hang on, we need to get the full picture. Oh right, I'm probably not gonna have him. Got some stuff to do in the save file. Yeah, Sag. Although... So he's on the bottom left there, all frickin' pixelated. Let me pull up the picture. What's the closest match? And I guess just this guy will do. Is that gonna work? Redirect notice. Love it. Did not work. Look at image in new tab. There he is. It's he's a skinny lad. Wait, this isn't the ArtStation link. Yeah. Cameron Scott Davis made this. There you go. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get gaming. How's the audio? I feel like I'm seeing the bars for the game audio go a little bit higher than normal. I don't think I changed anything. Sounds normal. As long as normal is good. That's good. Alright, let's get this rolling. This week we are back to our normal marking system. It's got a pretty sharp turn. C-grip, definitely nice. Okay. I'm digging this so far. So this week we have an A-rated booster, which means it's nice and short, as I'm used to. Because I'm not gonna lie, the longer boosts of the past two machines definitely messed me up a bit. It's actually built from a missile. At least in GX lore. I don't know if it's the same here. Basically, yeah.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
I still haven't mathed out how many more Fridays we have. I.e. how important it is that I don't skip any. I was gonna do the stream last night, but then Plexa was doing Dark Dawn routing. I found a new glitch, and then it kind of just didn't happen because we were up to like 1 AM or later glitch hunting. So I'm glad I still managed to get it done today, because otherwise we don't have a lot of leeway anymore for like Fridays I can skip. I mean, worst case scenario, I just do 2 in 1 week, right?
Wonderful. Good job. Bronze Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
I mean, we could assume, 4 Fridays in a month. After today, we need 14 more.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Oh gosh, yeah, I really don't have a lot of leeway. Been slacking. Yeah, I might have to do some double specials at some point. Stream on Friday, stream on Friday. 3 days later. But gotta make sure it's always a Friday. Honestly, yeah. It is the smart thing to do. And thankfully that'll always be on Friday, so not much to be concerned about. Hey, that worked out.
Great. Good job. Bronze Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Nice. I remember looking at gameplay, and it definitely did seem pretty interesting. I've only seen the anime and played part of Toei Neo, which I have on Switch. Which I think that plays somewhat similarly to the mobile version of Toei, which was a bit different from the DS version, due to, not having the dual screen. But yeah, Neo was pretty fun for what I played for a bit so far.
Good job. Bronze Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Yeah, if I were to play the original Twilly, I'd definitely just get it on DS.
3, 2, 1.
And not play the
Fire.
final mix version. I forget if that's actually what it's called.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
So that E-rated body once again rearing its head here when I'm driving over the damaged track. Gotta be mindful of that.
Final lap.
Final remix. Ow, ow. That makes sense. Alright, so this is gonna be the first mark of the run. As I messed up.
Great. Good job. LeBron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
I forgot about the dash plates. Also, I just realized I've been forgetting to post these streams in the F-Zero Nexus Discord. Oh well.
Finish! Great! Good job!
Oh, interesting.
LeBron Cup.
Yeah, I think my SD card that I have in my
Death Anchor.
flash cards is 1 or 2 gigabytes.
3,
I think it might be 2,
1.
but there is a chance that it's 1. Which, kinda sad. Definitely do remember having to regularly remove games from it.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
That missed. And that was me not paying attention to where the thing was gonna be.
Final lap. Fire.
Alright, so this is definitely a mark as well.
Great!
Yeah, for sure. I also find that DS games vary quite a lot in file size.
LeBron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Yeah, I think Pokemon Black and White 2 are 256.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Rock band I can definitely see. Given the focus on music.
You've got a new booster. Fire.
Very nice.
Final lap. Fire.
That's not quite gonna line up, but it was good enough. Kind of a risky move, but hey, it worked out.
Wonderful. Good job. LeBron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire. Final lap. Fire.
For a moment I thought I boost fired in a way that decreased my boost top speed. But it kinda worked out. Honestly, not a bad little run here.
You've got a new booster. You've got a new booster. Finish! Wonderful.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what a TT is. I only know of R4.
LeBron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Different brand. Okay. I never heard of it.
3, 2, 1.
But yeah, I'm very glad my R4 still works. If I ever get around to making a Dark Dawn randomizer or something, I can use that. Hopefully. Or I'll just do it on emulator. Which is how basically everybody else will be playing it.
Final lap. Fire.
Damn, I'm taking those turns very, very well. Very clean run outside of the one wall hits.
Great. Good job.
Oh, that's nifty.
LeBron Cup.
It is kind of a shame the original R4 doesn't work on 3DS.
Vehicle. Death Anchor.
Or even DSi, I'm pretty sure.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
DS batteries are built different. Like compare that to the Switch that just complains if you haven't touched it for a week. It's basically on its deathbed. It's unreal. That was a wall hit. Stage.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Why is OBS telling me connecting to chats? I didn't drop any frames, so I'm not sure why my chat just disconnected. I mean, we're back, so that's good. Speaking of Colors DS, that's the game that originally made me want to get a DS capture card. And now I have it, and I have not done lanes of Colors DS. Funny how those things work. Whoa! Scary.
Wonderful. Good job. Electron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
I didn't actually end up hitting that booster. It's a little bit unfortunate. Because we're still not at max speed. Now we are. Oh, I ran out of energy. No.
Great.
Good enough though. I think there's gonna be plenty of redos later on.
Ron Cup.
But we'll accept this.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Too real.
3, 2, 1.
As I'm sitting here yawning. Didn't sleep very well last night.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire. Fire.
That's funky.
Go! Wonderful. Good job. Ron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Yeah, right?
3,
Time's passing so fast.
1. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
since then it's been like nothing but terrible. Well, okay, not since then, but like recently it's been nothing but rainy, stormy days here. They're good days as long as you don't have to head out.
Finish! Congratulations! Good job! Bronze Cup. Choose your
Final
vehicle.
Bronze Cup track.
Death Anchor.
But yeah, this feels like one of those machines that's really nice to use on the
3,
tracks that don't have a lot of crazy
1.
turns.
Fire!
But it's gonna be absolute pain on Platinum Cup. I forgot that shortcut was there on this version of the track.
2 laps to go. You got a new booster.
It was Heat Circuit. It was another one.
You got a new booster.
Gosh, what was the other one?
You got a new booster. You got a new booster. Go! Great! Good job!
I don't really remember.
Select the Silver Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three,
Yeah, I don't really remember.
1. Fire.
We'll figure it out when we enter the times. Yeah, like when I do the comparison. Might have been High Speed Edge. No, that one I said I wasn't gonna mark. Really should have boosted fired a bit later. Now I'm struggling to build speed.
Final lap. Fire.
Yeah, Heat Circuit was a definite yes. But there was a second one. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would say this one as well. This is pretty bad.
Wonderful. Good job. Select Silver Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, 1. Fire.
I hit the energy, but I missed the booster. Kind of rude.
Final lap. Fire. Finish! Great!
Oh, really? What?
Good job!
That's pretty sick.
Select Silver Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
What price?
3, 2, 1. Fire. Laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire.
One thing I know for sure, after the stream, I'm going to fuck to bed.
Final lap. Fire.
Bedtime. Heck yeah. Thank you for the 53 months, Falco. Hope you're doing alright.
Go! Great!
Yeah, down.
Select Silver Cup. Choose
Wish
your
that could be
vehicle.
me.
Death Anchor. 3, 2, 1. Fire.
It's partially that I just went to sleep too late last night. And it's partially just bad dream and waking up and being unable to sleep more.
Final
And
lap.
tomorrow I could work, so I gotta get up at a reasonable time, so I should sleep early.
Go!
Thank you for the good luck. Yeah, they kinda do. It was like such a stressful dream. It was like I was
Choose your vehicle.
being chased by someone, like all throughout town. It was very hectic.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
And not just like, you know, being followed, but aggressively running after me. So yeah, that was not good. It was you, Falco. Please don't. Kinda rude.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
Gotta say though, in that dream, I was pretty fucking impressive. Like parkouring over obstacles. That's gonna run out and trust it. Yeah, seriously.
Wonderful.
But yeah, at least it was the kind of dream where it's like,
Good job.
you wake up and like, it wasn't too grounded in reality to ruin the rest of your day too
Choose your
much.
vehicle. Death anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Ah, it's also being weird for you, huh?
2 laps to go. You got a new boost.
Yeah, for me it also just like randomly disconnected me. But like, almost immediately reconnected.
Final lap. Fire. Finish! Congratulations!
Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Select your course. Silver Cup.
I don't know. I
Death anchor.
can't imagine working 40 hours a week. Or more. There's people who work more. And I'm just like, how do you have time to do anything? How do you have time to not have the stress from one week leak into the next one and just be burnt out?
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
Like, I'm very lucky to be able to survive, make do with just 24 hours a week. And even at 24, I sometimes feel like, damn, I'm tired. But I
Wonderful.
am able to like properly appreciate my weekends a lot more.
Good job.
The flavor of the soda? Death.
Choose your vehicle. Death anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
What's the taste of anchor? Ah yes, delicious metal, seaweed, and seawater. I can't see myself getting like seriously back into GX. I might get like ADD brained into just going for like some grinding for a week. But it's definitely not as much as I used to.
Final lap. Fire.
Frick! Frick. Also same on Net Force. Imagine you're just chilling there,
Two, one. Fire.
just being an EP low guy all day. Just hanging out with the birds. Mm.
Two laps to go. You got a new booster. Boost fire.
Oh my god, that was close. We almost had a 4 lap on our hands.
Finish!
Man,
Wonderful!
shitty first lap. That's a mark.
Good job! Select Silver Cup. Choose your vehicle.
Yeah.
Anchor.
It's just one of those things. Like, it's hard to get like the same level of excitement over the same like 26 plus 9 tracks
2,
like
1.
10 years later.
Fire.
And like, for me, MTS chaining has always been uncomfortable on my hands.
New booster.
But as long as I don't do like chaining heavy tracks, I'm usually fine.
Final lap. Fire.
Like, I could easily grind Trident all afternoon.
Go! Congratulations!
Here's the thing, those are good tracks.
Good job! Select Silver Cup.
They're more fun than most of the other ones.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Here I have to be kind of cautious of the damage track. Because I will run out of energy if I take too much damage.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
Or if I don't heal enough.
Final lap. Fire. You've got a new booster.
It's just about made it.
Oh! Congratulations! Good job!
Or Link.
Select Silver Cup.
Can never catch a break.
Vehicle.
Just have a happy little adventure. Do some crossbow training.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
I mean, at least he can participate in Mario Kart. That's like pretty low stakes. Yo, Fi. Hope you're doing well.
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire. Go!
That's pretty good.
Congratulations.
Oh my god, I would love to see Ganondorf in Mario Kart.
Select Silver Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
it'd be so fucking oversized. Like, even with Link, like, with his normal human proportions, looks kind of awkward in a cart. PB technically still possible if I get everything first try now, but it'll be quite unlikely. Well, I swear I was pressing the boost button, but fair. Still made it work. Ah, fuck, 4 laps, let's go. That was greed. That was 100% greed. Yeah, like, I actually specifically wait to make sure I finish before I say to mark something. Because it wouldn't be the first time. I'm like, oh, let's mark this, and then I just die. Because, yeah. Ah, come on. Let me go.
laps to go. You've got a new booster. Three, two, one. Fire.
Nothing wrong here. Not a red split to be seen. How did I miss that to the left?
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire. Finish.
Imagine if I just
Wonderful.
hadn't been greedy on that first attempt that actually almost had it.
Job.
At least we don't have to mark it.
Select your course.
That's good.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Ay ay ay.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Ah, there it is. I was waiting for it.
Final round. Fire.
I sure hope by the end of F-Zero Fridays we figure out if this is lost or not.
Go! Great! Good job! Select your silver cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
You know? Fair point.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
That's a lot of damage.
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster.
And that really is a lot of damage. What the fuck?
Final lap.
I went out of my way to go to the energy. And then I did a little oopsie. That was a lot of damage.
2, 1. Fire.
You know what? We take those. Ah, fuck. We don't take that. Oh my god.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Good. That's what you like to see.
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
I was gonna
Finish!
be kind of upset if I hit that mine. Wish me luck. Also, I'm curious, what if I compare against average? Ooh, comparing against average is not much better. I really thought I landed on that. There's a pin cap? What the heck? Today I learned.
Good job. Select your gold cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
I don't know if y'all heard that.
3, 2,
I was gonna grab a sip of my drink, hit it into the plate that's still here from dinner, spilled some lemonade, and made a loud sound. That's kind of what it comes down to. Not the end of the world.
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster.
I only spilled like a few drops though. Could be worse. Like hitting that wall. That's kind of bad. Oh my gosh, my voice, please.
You've got a new booster. You've got a new booster. Go!
Still need plus 3 seconds. Take those. I had to double check for a moment that I didn't spill any into my USB ports of my computer.
Select your gold cup. Choose your vehicle.
I think we're good.
Three, two, one. Fire. Laps to go. You've got a new booster.
I was looking at my arm because I thought I felt a mosquito. Let's just restart this. This RTA run's dead. Definitely felt something itch on my
3, 2, 1.
the inside part of my elbow. Yeah, that happens. Oh, let's not completely fuck it up this time. still really funny to me that my current PB uses Red Bull.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire. Finish! Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Good job. Select your goal cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
That was a really nice side attack into a wall that I definitely intended to input.
Final lap.
I swear, accidental side attacks are like a third of the mistakes I make. But I can't just unbind them because I do need them.
Finish! Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Good job. Select your goal cup. Choose your vehicle.
I'm warm.
Death Anchor.
How did I get so warm? Only 23.5 degrees in here.
2, 1. Fire.
I just get very warm when I'm streaming. Also, frick. I get the bat song.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
How do I unjam?
Final lap. Fire.
That's just like me not wearing headphones, looking very angry.
Finish! Wonderful.
Covering my ears.
Good job. Select your goal cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Tried to type a mad bag. I couldn't finish it. You could say that makes me mad bag.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Select your course. Gold cup. Choose your vehicle. Death anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Yeah, I agree. Funny, you saying that instantly made me go like, oh, I should play that game again.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire. Go! Congratulations!
Is it an event that I've witnessed?
Good job! Select your gold cup. Choose your vehicle. Death anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
But now I'm hyped for fucking FF7 Remake Part 2 again. I don't think we've heard anything since that like announcement live stream thing, right? And like the occasional teaser on Twitter. Ah, I have lost my focus.
Final lap. Fire. You've got a new booster.
Alright, that's gonna be a mark, for sure.
Congratulations! Good job! Select your gold cup. Choose your vehicle. Death anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Ah, thank you very much. Nice, the wind pushed me into the gravel.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
I'm not very happy with how this run's going.
You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
This is also a mark.
You've got a new booster. Finish! Wonderful.
Yeah, I just feel like my head's just not in the game.
Good job.
I keep being like, I don't want to
Select
do
your
the
gold
stream too early because it's too far out of my usual time frame. But then by the time it actually gets evening, I'm like, the tiredness hits me, and it's kind of hard to focus.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Maybe I should just do it whenever I feel like I can. Although today I was also hanging out in voice chat with Valyssa, Raffi, and Wrecking Trace for Dark Dawn shenanigans. And earlier today we were playing some Wild Arms too, so that's also something that needs to be done. Gaming and chilling with your gay girlfriend. They were quite wild. Wild Arms 2, I would say, has the wildest of arms.
Congratulations! Good job! Select your course. Full cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two,
It would be so cool to be good enough at reading Japanese that I can play the original Wild Arms 2 and not have to deal with the jank-ass translations. I got 1, 2, and 3. And actually 4 and 5? I think I got all of them. All the ones that matter.
you got a new booster.
I say all the ones that matter. I've not actually checked out the PSP one. I just know it's very different.
Fire. Finish! Congratulations!
But yeah, that would be cool. Good
job!
I've been slacking on my Japanese learning as well.
Select your full cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
What does that mean?
3, 2, 1. Fire.
Connecting to chat. Thanks, Twitch. Yeah, that would be very cool. I played a bit of Wild Arms 3 in Japanese, and boy, did it make me realize there's a lot of stuff I have no idea about, and I don't know enough to be able to figure the rest out, you know? Like if you're learning a language and like you see a word that you don't know, you can kinda learn it from context, like kinda figure out what it means. I don't have the context either. I usually pick out like a few words at best.
Good job!
Nothing at all, at worst. That was bad, by the way. That's gonna be another mark.
Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Thank you for the Marco.
3, 2,
But yeah, like for Wild Arms 3, I learned what like north, south, east, and west were. I forget which is which at this point. I might not even remember, like, might not even be able to recognize them all anymore. I just lack some foundation to make it stick, you know? Kumo. Is this gonna be another mark? Yes, it sure is.
Finish! Congratulations! Good job! Select your course. Gold Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Wild Arms. I do agree. Wild Arms. 2.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
You're very welcome. Although in Japanese, we would never have to say you're very welcome. Okay, bye.
Left to go. Fire. Final lap. Fire.
Oh really? That's funny.
Three, two, one. Fire.
I'm struggling today.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
Ah. I don't care. That lap one was shit, but I got the shortcut.
Good job. Select your gold cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Oh, baby, it's time for the best cup with all my favorite tracks.
Select your course, Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle, Death Anchor. Three, two, one, fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
Yo, they just see how fast my energy drained there. What the fuck?
Final lap. You've got a new booster.
Thing is made of fucking paper.
Go! Congratulations! Good job! Select your course.
Oh, baby.
Choose your vehicle, Death Anchor.
Big billow. I wonder if it's flimsy because it used to be a rocket, so it would just explode still. Like I would consider Zoda to be the kind of guy who would just add an engine, but like keep the explosives, keep the fuel.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Boost fire.
Pain.
Final lap. Boost fire.
This track is so painful.
You've got a new booster. Finish! Great! Good job! Select your course, Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle, Death Anchor. Three, two, one, fire.
You know, for a brief moment I was wondering there. I wonder what Big Billow is called in Japanese, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm playing the Japanese version. I.e., the only version.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
It's so easy to forget with how much text is just in English.
Final lap. Boost fire. Go! Congratulations! Good job! Select your course, Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle.
I think this might be the first run where I haven't had any best segments yet.
3, 2, 1, fire!
There's still a chance, but it certainly might be the first. to not make any improvements in the splits. That's true. I shouldn't have boost fired again, but it's fine. I'll do this straight. Fuck! Break.
2, 1, fire.
No, it's... I sure wish that had gone better than it actually did.
Select your course, Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle. Select your course, Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle, Death Anchor. Three, two, one, fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
How did that even go so badly?
Go! Great! Good job! Select your course, Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle, Death Anchor. Three, two, one, fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire. Final lap. You've got a new booster. Fire. Finish! Wonderful! Platinum Cup.
Almost there.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. You've got a new booster. Fire.
Okay.
Go!
Lovely.
Great! Good job! Select your course. Platinum Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
This is not a castle.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire. You've got a new booster.
Doesn't that at least have like a castle in the background?
Fire.
Or is that Super Mario Kart? I'm probably thinking of the Super Mario Kart one. Not really seen much of Super Circuits.
Go! Wonderful. Good job. Select your course. Platinum Cup. Select your course. Championship. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Hmm.
Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire. Final lap. Fire. You've got a new booster. Go!
Alright, let's get that on screen. Oh man, that was quite rough. to be honest. I'm gonna count the amount of Fridays that I have left. Just before I forget again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's 21 Fridays left after this one. And we have 14 more machines to do after this one. So actually there's still a decent amount of leeway. So that's good to know. Yeah, I can definitely still slack on some weeks. Although I did want to have some time left to do Crazy Bear like actual attempts. Also, I just realized I changed my recording settings when I did some Dark Dawn recording. I wanted to make sure it fit on Discord. So now I'm recording in MP4 at stream quality instead of high quality. Fuck. And also I can't pause it during the break. So... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let it play the intro, like the opening cutscene tutorial thingy a couple times. I don't want to have to splice together the video from before and after the break. So I'm gonna just get up. Y'all can look at the tutorial, read this, as you do. And then I'll be back to do some tracks that I had to redo, which unfortunately is quite a number of them. But I do need to get up and stretch my legs. So I'm gonna do the good old BRB, run some ads. And I'll see you again soon.
You've got a new booster. Go! Congratulations! F-Zero Climax. Fire. Use fire. Go! Congratulations. F-Zero Climax. Three, two,
Japanese?
fire.
Unheard of. Okay. Let me see, where do we start? Probably heat circuit.
F-Zero Climax.
That's fair enough.
Your mode.
I, for one, would also be jumping to play some BBS.
Time attack. Select your bronze cup.
It's a good game. Okay. Let me see. Was it barrel roll? No, I died on barrel roll. And then second go was pretty good. It might have been... It might have been... Oh yeah, it was Arch Hill. That was the one. I don't remember now. Wait, no, it wasn't. Wait. No, it was Slalom. That's the one that was marked. I don't freaking remember. Let's start with heat
Choose your
circuits.
vehicle. Death Anchor.
Death Anchor.
Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster.
I do like this pink boost effect that some of these villain ships have. Villain machines. I shouldn't be calling them ships. It's not what they are.
You've got a new booster. You've got a new booster. Finish! Wonderful. Good job.
Aw, I hope she feels better soon.
Select your bronze cup. Select your fourth silver cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Aqua time? Aw, baby. Hope you have fun. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for the help with the tracking, as always.
2,
Really appreciate it.
fire.
Enjoy Aqua. I'm very glad to hear that.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire.
Forget how much speed you need to make this. Apparently, that amount works.
Final lap.
I was just like, hey, that's a cool looking wall.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire.
I'm gonna need better landing than that.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Fire. Final lap. Fire. You've got a new booster. Finish!
Hey,
Great!
that's quite nice.
Good job!
Cue announcer. Let's go Mistring. Mistring was so sad, to be honest. Like, Puzzle Ring was good. But then Mistring. Was this the one where
Vehicle.
I didn't get to lap 1, but I got lap 2 and 3? Might have been.
Anchor. 3, 2, 1. Fire.
Hero Striker. Yeah. You missed the best RTA run. That ended like plus 10 minutes. So don't worry too much about that. Thank you for the good luck.
Three, two, one.
But yeah, it was kind of a rough run. I was just kinda unable to focus from the halfway point onward. Did get a few good times. I think I got one top 3. And now I'm kinda struggling here, as, you know, as is tradition.
Three, two, one. Fire.
If you wanna watch the run, then yeah, that's how it's gonna have to be. Actually, not necessarily. You can watch the run from the Twitch archives. Then you don't have to be a YouTube scrub. How about it? Better?
Three, two, one. Fire.
Just don't forget to also check it out on YouTube and maybe give it a like. Somehow, oh my god. Somehow, on several of these videos, people are leaving dislikes. Which is just like, fair enough, but also, I don't know. I've never been one to dislike videos, unless I legitimately just never want to see that content creator again. Or if it was like super misleading. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, like it's not a lot, but like regularly there will just be a single dislike on like several of the F-Zero Friday VODs. Also, it made me think about the like and dislike system in general. It sure would be useful if there was like a feedback thingy, where it's like, why did someone dislike a video? Because there could be some legitimate intel here. But it could just be someone being bored, I don't know. Yeah, made it big on the internet. Popular. Mainstream. Actually, that you haven't truly made it until people start talking about how your old content was better and how you're running out of ideas now. It's so difficult to make that. What? This thing just flies very far somehow. I guess it has good top speed. Pretty lightweight, I think. It's so difficult. During the run, it didn't seem that difficult. I'm just a bit eepy. That worked, kind of. I mean, not kinda, it worked, it just felt like kind of a gamble.
Congratulations!
Lovely.
Good job!
Yo, Strutkar, have you heard about the latest Dark Dawn glitch that I found last night? Yeah, last night.
Select your course.
A single course is here. The latest Dark Dawn glitch.
Choose your vehicle.
I found a new one. So the latest glitch is... there's items that are usable in battle and items that are not usable in battle. And not usable items include, you know, normal armor that doesn't have a use effect. Key items. Equipment that bestows synergy. And I have found a way to do menu shenanigans to trick the game into letting you use them anyway. Now, if you use most key items, it either makes you defend, or like if you use gear, it makes you defend, and most key items just do an animation, and doesn't actually do anything. But if you trick the game into using the slap glove, for example, it actually casts slap. And you can combine that with the game remembering the AoE of the actual usable item, such as a bramble seed, to AoE cast slap on your own party. That's the funniest thing, you can attack your own party with this. In fact, it's the only thing you can do. It's not useful for dealing damage, you can only damage your own party. Which is really good for death warping. Also, thank you, Overkill. I think I've made it, yeah. Soulblade Valyssa. That's me. Yeah, so the route I've been theorizing over the past couple days really struggled with death warps, and that's why it ended up being slower. So then with this new trick, it's likely faster. Yeah, just the fact that you don't have to rely on enemy RNG. Because they might just not target the right people, they might just not use attacks. You can cast Synergy on yourself, but then also with the same menu trick. I think it might have been... yeah, so Plexa found a way to target yourself with Defend. Here's the thing, Defend can also unleash an unleash, such as a critical hit. So he found that if you cast Defend on yourself and you critical hit, you attack yourself. And then Raffi found a more consistent way to actually trick the game into letting you normal attack yourself. So you don't have to rely on the critical hits. We now have Friendly Fire in Dark Dawn. Just really fun. Dark Dawn PvP, yeah, pretty much.
Good job.
Oh, oops. I didn't mean to start my timer, I was just like, oh, I finished, let me press my split button. 58, 23 belts. fast. Nifty. But yeah. Pretty fun stuff. But yeah, now the entire early game of the route is being thrown on its head, and Plexa and Raffi are having to reroute the rest because of different Jin setups now.
Select your course. Hold up.
On the toes.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, we used to have to rely on, like, the weakest fucking enemies who would take, like, on average, 30 plus actions to kill you. And now you can just attack yourself and just be done in, like, 2 turns. And it looks really funny, too, because when someone attacks themselves, they attack backwards, and they stay facing backwards for that turn as well.
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster.
And then today I managed to use Reflux to counter-attack against yourself because you've attacked yourself. To double the damage that you deal to yourself on one turn.
Finish! Great!
Yeah, fun stuff.
Good job!
3.12. I think I just saw a mosquito. Sure hope I was imagining that. To counter yourself against yourself, yeah. Exactly. It would have been so funny if the counter triggered the counter, so you can infinitely counter until you die. But alas, it only triggers once.
Select your course. Hold up. Choose your vehicle.
I guess it makes sense, because if you have counter and the enemy has counter, then if they didn't make an exception for counters, then it would just be an endless fuck you battle. Until one of you dies.
2, 1.
So I get why counter can't trigger counter. But it sure would have been funny. Threadcar, you've played the intro of Dark Dawn, right? Like, you just haven't gotten very far in the game?
3, 2, 1. Fire. Go. You've got a new booster.
Oh, it's way off. Bam.
Final lap. Fire.
Okay. Yeah, all this, like, routing and stuff.
1.
Like, I was actually trying to do a little route demonstration. And that made me realize how rusty I am. But... like, for a moment it kinda got me into the mood of running the game again. It's just really difficult.
1.
Like, there's so many bridge clips that I just don't really know how to do. I just love to YOLO it, and it's really frustrating. And so many menus that I have to learn. But at the same time, maybe I'll just do it at some point. Improve my 5 hour 16-minute PB, I think it is.
Let's go. You got a new booster.
Especially with the new Deathborg strats. Takes away a lot of painful RNG variants. I didn't care for that run. I slowed way down on lap 3.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
I got freaking button input cooldowned.
Finish! Wonderful. Good job.
Which made me lose a lot of speed. I'll take it for now, but I'll keep the mark. In case I miraculously have time and energy for more. Because we still have... Wait, was that actually... Oh yeah, Twin Course had a bad lap 1, but I did get the skip. Let's try to go for an improvement. And then maybe check out High Speed Edge 3.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You got a new booster. Final lap.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Three, two, one. Fire.
Life's mostly good. I'm just tired, but what else is new? I think I had a good weekend.
Two laps to go. You got a new booster.
How's your life? Yeah, imagine not being tired.
3, 2, 1. Fire. Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap.
I wish it were just acceptable to be like, yo, I'm kinda chronically tired. I'm just gonna take a month off from everything in life. See y'all later.
Go!
That's an
Wonderful.
improvement, but still kinda rough.
Good job.
Life is full of guilty gear. Nice, nice. Ah. Good luck with the move. Hope that all goes smoothly for you.
Select your course.
Internet do be important.
Bronze Cup.
Like, I legitimately just can't imagine living without internet anymore. I'll try to improve
Choose
this.
your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire.
Was it even high speed H3 that I messed up, or was that 2? Like, I know my time here can be better. Yeah, it was probably this one,
Three,
actually.
2, 1. Fire.
Yeah, I hope you manage to
2,
get some rest soon, Overkill.
fire.
Like, some good rest, I mean, not just, you know, a night of sleep, but being able to take a little break from things. Actually recover.
Two laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
Yo, that was fucking sick. Damn.
Finish! Wonderful.
Mental breaks is so hard.
Good job.
Yeah. I get that. Like, just sleeping well is often just not enough. Like, for me, it does kind of help. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. It helps to every now and then just kind of step away from the PC, just fucking stare out the window for 5 minutes. Not be consuming media. Like, it's so dumb. I used to have, like, whenever I came back from high school, I'd just be sitting in the train and just staring out the window. And it was really nice. I'd actually almost fall asleep a lot of the time. But I did feel well rested once I got home. And that was before I was like chronically on Twitter and Discord and stuff. And nowadays, in the train, I often just find myself looking for content, even when I'm all caught up on Discord, all caught up on Twitter. I'll check Instagram, like the infinitely scrolling feed. And I don't know, it's nice to just disconnect sometimes, but it's so hard to realize that you need to do that. Yeah, just really chill casual playthrough without internet to distract you. That's definitely a good thing. Just put the phone away, remove the temptation. Hope that it helps.
Select your mode. Time attack.
I recently saw a post, I don't remember where it was, but it was about people needing more floor time. Like time where you just lay on the floor doing nothing. And I think I can vibe with that. I think I could use that.
Front cup.
Still trying to figure out which other track I had to redo. I don't think my 8 carat was that bad. There's time to be safe, but it's not that bad. I think White Wolf. Let's do White Wolf.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two,
It's hard to take a mental break, like a proper one.
laps to go. You've got a new booster. Oil lap. Fire.
Fucking nice pinball. Yeah, it's... especially when you have ADHD, or something similar, it's really hard to get that, like, actual mental clarity. Not to worry about what has to be done, what you could be doing, feeling bad for not doing something productive. That's like the main thing. I sometimes feel like I don't have any right to be as tired as I am, because I'm not even working full-time. Things are going pretty well overall. But it's good to realize that if you need rest, then you just need rest. And it doesn't matter if someone else is working harder than you are and is doing better. I don't know, it's hard not to compare yourself.
Congratulations.
But it is important not to do that.
Good job.
Yeah, I guess you just really needed it. Let me
Select your course.
have a quick glance here. Was my burnt out link fine?
Silver cup. Select your course. Gold cup.
Wait,
Select your course.
I still don't remember for shit where tracks are in this game. There it is. No, that's good. Closer Rim was good. good enough. I think we're in a good enough position to enter the times into the spreadsheet and see. Yeah, fair enough. Hope you enjoy your little break. You also have a good one. Might be finishing up here anyway, depending on if I see any stinkers when I'm comparing times. I like Red Canyon. Alright. Let me have a little look-see here. Just separating the times by sets of 5 to make it easier to read. Alright, times. There we go. Double check that this is still... sick. Oh, okay. I've forgotten how studio mode works. How do I do the transition? Okay. So we got Death Anchor. This and then it's all me, all the way down. That's sweet. Alright, let's get things started. We don't need to be that order. Okay. Barrel rolls 69.96. Dang. Didn't beat my past self. Just two. I can believe this fucking mad lad with Panzer Emerald of all things. Goddamn. Let's see. And the final cup. Six. Oh yeah, that multiply was pretty bad. 6, 4. Before we have a look at the total time, let's do a quick comparison. Let's do between Fire Stingray and Death Anchor. Mostly looking pretty comparable. Comparable, I've heard some people say. Don't know if that's the correct way to say it. Last Wolf. Yeah, okay. Okay, before I move on though, let's make sure there's no other ones I have to redo, but fucking Last Wolf, that's really bad. Silence Nightmare as well. Okay, Last Wolf, Nightmare. What else? Please nothing else. Could be better, but it's not offensively slow. Keybreak 2, I was afraid that was also the case. Of course I'll take, even if it's pretty slow. Exceptionally bad Eagle Circuit, but fair enough. Let's get things started with Last Wolf.
Select your mode. Time attack. Select Ron Cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor.
I did tell Emmy I was gonna stream till 10 PM at latest.
1. Fire.
So let's make sure we don't get hung up on any of these tracks.
Laps to go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
That is much better.
Good job.
60. Okay. Next up, Silence Nightmare.
Select your silver cup. Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You got a new booster. Fire. Finish! Great!
Solid improvements.
Good job!
Just one more.
Select your
Key
cup.
break 2.
Choose your vehicle. Death Anchor. Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You got a new booster.
Yeah, now I remember messing up here. Oops. Speaking of messing up, hahaha.
Three, two, one. Fire. Two laps to go. You got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
I thought the goal was a little bit closer at the end there, so I was like, I don't need to go to the left for energy.
Good job.
I'll give it another go. Even if it was just the ending that was bad. Only giving it a few minutes though.
Three, two,
If I haven't improved in a few minutes, we're done.
Let's go. You've got a new booster. Final lap. Fire.
There we go. That will do.
Good job.
That seems PBable with a better machine.
Select your mode.
Alrighty. So we have on last wall 60.58. We have on Nightmare 63.66. And we have on Keybrick 2 61.14. Which brings us to a grand total of 53 of 35. Slightly behind Fire Stingray, which that's definitely on me. There are some places I can definitely improve. Not pointing any fingers. I just can't be arsed to do that right now. That's fine. A few seconds of variance is honestly not too shabby for a pretty similar machine. Like, if anything, Wild Goose needs redemption. And we'll work on those on the end of year F-Zero Fridays. Presumably. Probably. That's the plan. For now though, that will do it for today. I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks for hanging out. See you next F-Zero Fridays.